and we were asked to put together a short, small video to kind of highlight some of the important steps that we can be doing on a day-to-day basis in your business and in other businesses throughout the community to protect and clean in this crazy time in the world we're living in with COVID-19. So one of the things we wanted to go over was the use of personal protective equipment that is recommended by the CDC to be wearing. One of those things is a mask of any type. The one we have here right now is an N95 dust mask, and then also the use of some latex or nitrile gloves to protect your hands. Some other things you will properly need to clean are rags or disinfectant wipes, a bucket, spray bottle, and then any type of EPA registered disinfectant. Whenever we put on and take off our personal protective equipment, we call that donning and doffing. The donning of putting on your personal protective equipment is usually pretty self-explanatory. You pull on the gloves, you put on the dust mask, but the doffing process takes a little bit more effort. Normally I would have my dust mask on, but you would not be able to hear me. So the taking off of the gloves, you want to do it in a manner that you avoid as much contact as possible with your bare skin. So whenever you take it off, you want to pull that through and then use it the other hand to pull them the other side off, so both of them are able to be discarded from the inside out. And then you can take off your dust mask without touching your face, discard that, and then you would want to go and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with warm water.
The first thing to keep in mind is that cleaning and disinfecting are two different things. So cleaning is going to remove the soil and dirt that's holding on to what we call the infectious agents. Cleaning removes the soil and dirt that harbors the infectious agents, while disinfecting kills the remaining environmental pathogens that are left behind by cleaning. So cleaning is a necessary first step in disinfecting a surface. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick out the type of cleaner that you're going to use. Once you've chosen that type of cleaning detergent, typically a general purpose cleaner, that you're going to use, the first thing you should do is read and follow all the label instructions. So always make sure that you read and follow those instructions, as each individual cleaning detergent is going to be a little bit different. So after you familiarize yourself with the product, you can start using it at that point. It is recommended that when using the cleaning agent that you apply it to the rag instead of to the surface. Just kind of helps contain things a little bit better. So really soak the rag good if you're using a spray bottle, or you can dip it into a bucket with that clean detergent and water mixed together. And also one of the things to keep in mind is there's actually 8 sides to a rag. So I'll show you 4 of those sides. So you start off with a rag that looks like this. Once you fold it in half, we're going to fold it one more time so you've got a rag that looks like this. So now you've got 4 sides, 1, 2, folding again the other direction, you've got 3, 4, and then once you open the rag up, fold it again, you've had 4 more sides. So you've got 8 different surfaces that you can clean with this one rag without cross-contaminating. So once you clean a surface, it's a good idea to fold the rag over once you go to the next surface so you're not taking that dirt and things from that one surface and putting it on another. So something good to keep in mind. Some of the surfaces that you're looking at high traffic touch points, things like kitchen food areas, bathrooms, classrooms, offices, retail space, hallways, etc. Any of those high traffic touch points. So
door handles, sink
Right.
faucets, paper towel dispensers, you got chairs, computer keyboards, some things like that. Just the high touch point areas that random people are going to not even think about when they touch things that they can touch and give it to it, or touch and then contract from those areas.
Right. Keep in mind as well, if you're using a bucket to hold that cleaning agent and you soak your rag, one of the things that you don't want to do is once you get done cleaning that surface with the rag, it's not a good idea once you get done cleaning to take that rag and dip it back in the bucket, because at that point you're just doing cross-contamination. You're taking the dirt and things that are on that counter and you're putting it in the bucket. So once you dip your rag in the bucket and pull it back out, you're putting that stuff on the next surface. So it's a good idea to just get rid of that rag and start new if you're going to use a bucket. So make sure that you have multiple rags for that. If you're using a spray bottle, at that point it's a little bit easier to use the 8 sides. If you're using a spray bottle, soak the rag, not the countertop. It's best to spray it on there. It helps contain things. And also something else to keep in mind is there's some materials that can't be wet cleaned. Always make sure that you're checking out electronics and things like that. We talk about phones, keyboards, the credit card machines. Those are some things that cash registers. Those are some things that you really need to make sure that they can have some kind of moisture put onto them, and you're not going to damage those.
And also, if you're a delivery driver, your door handles on your trucks and your steering wheel, the radio inside, because as you're taking things in and out, you're obviously hitting that steering wheel again. So definitely want to worry about those touch points.
Sure. So after we get things good and cleaned, the next thing we're going to look at is disinfecting. And again, we have to remember that cleaning and disinfecting are 2 totally different things. So when you're disinfecting something, you're not necessarily cleaning a dirty surface or removing the germs, but you're killing the germs on a surface after cleaning it, which is going to further help lower the risk of spreading that infection. Disinfectants are normally applied using a spray bottle, and it's recommended that when you're disinfecting, you get a surface wet with that disinfectant and allow it to sit for around 5 to 10 minutes to be most effective before you wipe it off or dry it. But also be sure to check the labels again for kill terms on those. So again, make sure that you're reading the label instructions on the disinfectants as well.
From a disinfectant perspective, all EPA registered disinfectants, they should have a kill claim on them to determine what type of virus it can kill, and their claim on how long it has to stay wet before it can do that killing of that virus and pathogen that's in there. So,
sure.
So just a couple more things that we would have to take care of, whenever we're done here is after all the cleaning is done, it's a good idea to walk through the area with a clean rag and hit those touch points to make sure that you did get everything and clean it to a degree that it is able to have the disinfectant do its job. Because if you walk through with a white new rag and you're able to wipe off something and you still have brown or black on it or whatever, then at that point there was still something that needed to be cleaned off of it before the disinfectant can do its job. So we want to make sure that residue is removed. Also, doing the cleanup of the used materials. Something that is important is make sure you dispose of your PPE like we talked about earlier. Throw that away and do that in the correct method. Bag all your reusable rags and take them to be laundered before the next use. Make sure that those are cleaned thoroughly and ready to go. And then, as always, once these things are done, be sure to wash your hands. After you take the rags, put them in the laundry, then go wash your hands for 20 seconds with warm water. And something that SERVPRO of Vincennes we want to be able to provide is if you guys in the community have questions, we are here to help. We're here to consult you. Call us if you got questions. We'll do our very best to get out there in a timely manner, look at it, give you the best advice that we can on how to move forward. And if it's something that's beyond what you can do, then we're here to help you.